Greetings everyone and welcome to the Valencia track guide. Circuit Ricardo Torme is a highly technical low-speed track with a lot of low-speed trail-breaking corners and a very technical middle section. The mentioned low-speed corners are turn 2, 4, 5, 6 and the last 14. We have two high-speed fourth gear corners, the first and the 12th. Lastly, there's a very technical middle section from 8 to 11. Turn 1 is a very challenging, fairly fast turn after the long main straight. In order to maximize the speed, you have to position yourself up to the track limit, which is at this line, and you just have to keep your left tires left from it a bit. For braking and turning in point, which is the same, you first have to imagine a line from this white part, and you will have to brake a bit before it. For the middle of the corner, you have to switch down to gear 4 and aim for a very aggressive apex. Just cut as much as you can without hitting the grass. At the exit, the track limits are very lenient. You have to use this all green part. Just keep your left tires off from this red-white part. Between turn 1 and 2, I usually come back to the track with my left tires in order to keep my right tires off from the marbles and not dirty it up. For turn 2 and 3, the track limits are very lenient. You just have to keep your right tires off from the gravel, and you should try to position yourself as much to the right as you can. The braking point is at this white part, and the turning point is not a full reference, but it is somewhere between the white part and the start of the strip, halfway. The turn-in, sometimes when you hit your right tires with this edge of the strip, it will bounce your car a bit. I could not find a way how to prevent this completely. Even with fairly high setups, it happens. So it's very unpredictable, like a random generated number. Just be aware if this happens. It's not always your fault, it just happens sometimes. Since it is almost a hairpin corner, you have to trail brake very deeply in order to rotate the car. And I usually aim for this line with my left tires because the green part is a bit angled and it will not let the car rotate as good as if you keep it on the right wet part. At the exit, the track limits are not as lenient as you would think, because sometimes even if you put your left tire somewhere here, you get invalidated lap. So I usually keep it at the left part of this red-white strip. So here. Turn 3 is flat out, but since we won't have much time to prepare for turn 4, you should keep the exit in the middle of the track, and I usually aim for this line, not using too much of this green part because sometimes it upsets the car. Although the track limits would enable you to use all the green parts and just keep your left tires off from the gravel, but since this white red strip has a very sharp edge here at the turning in point, if you put your left tires onto the green part, it will not let you turn in very efficiently, and I usually just keep my left tires on the white red strip. The apex you can cut as much as you want and can, like this. At the exit I've got a bit of over rotation, so it was a bit tighter than I would like to, but basically you want to position yourself as much to the left as you can. Just keep your left tires off from the gravel as usual. The turning in and braking point is somewhere here, where the rubbering happens on the white red strip, and basically you should follow the rubbered up line and trail brake as much as you can. As always, just cut as much as you can at the apex. Again, at the exit you can use all the green part, just keep your left tires off from the gravel. For turn 6, as usual, you should use all the green part and just keep your right tires off from the gravel. The braking point is basically halfway between the start of the apex strip and between this white strip. There's a few bright spots here which can help you to find the correct braking and turning in point. This corner has the exact same issue as turn 2, so sometimes the right tire just gets hooked up at the edge of the right wet part. Don't be surprised, it's inevitable sometimes. I missed the apex a bit. You should use all of the white red part as much as you can. At the exit, the track limits are a bit tighter here, so you have to keep your left tires on the white red strip like this. Shortcut the track as much as you can. And this is where our 4-turn corner complex starts with corner 8. The track limits, as usual, just keep your right tires off from the gravel. The braking point is a bit before this white strip, so it's somewhere here. And we will aim for the apex very, very gently. You have to trail brake very, very deeply into this corner, basically keeping your left tires always to the inside of the corner. Mid-corner, if you could hug the inside line nicely, you can start to apply the throttle when you approach this green part. And at the exit, you should use all the track as you can. Just keep your left tires on the white red strip. And this whole double corner is one big nice swipe. At turn 9 apex, cut the green part very, very aggressively in order to have a good entry for turn 10. So you should aim for as much as to the left as you can. Somewhere between half of turn 9 and 10, you should switch the direction of the car and aim to cut this green part again as much as you can. For braking point, I use the end of this green strip, and initially you should try to brake more and a bit more straight line, so drift wider. Then you have to trail brake very, very deeply in order to hit the apex late. The transition between the straighter and more turning in braking is somewhere here where the rubbering starts and the corner is more present. And if you were trail brake rotating nicely, you can start to apply the throttle as soon as you hit this green part. And I usually try to cut as much of this green part as I can. The exit track limits are keeping your right tires on the white red part. And here comes our second high-speed corner, which is turn 12. The braking point is a bit before the white line, so it's somewhere here. And this corner entry has the same issue as turn 2 and 6. So we have a very sharp edge at the white-red strip. And the trick is to avoid upsetting the car and bouncing off from the line. You should do most of the braking in a straight. And when you start to turn in, you should release the brake just before hitting the edge with your right-left tire. At the first apex, you should try to just avoid this green part, so the ideal line is here. But if you hit the green with your right tires, it's not the end of the world. You can lose some time, but it's not that nasty as it would see first. And while the exit track limits are very lenient, so if you keep your right tires on the white red strip, it is valid. But since there is two big edges here and here, if you keep your car too much to the left, it would upset the car and you will bounce around and lose a lot of time. So I usually try to aim this line with my left tires. And here comes the last corner. The braking point is a bit after this white part, so it's somewhere here. And we will have a late turn in. So first I aim this white strip with the middle of the car. And after you've done most of the braking part in a straight line, you should start to turn in somewhere here where the rubbering meets the white red strip. And I usually aim for a line so my right tires just come back here at the edge of the red part. For the last apex, you ideally keep your left tires on the white red part. You can clip more, but since this green part has an angle, it will not let you turn in as nicely as if you would use this line. At the exit, again, you can use as much as the white red strip with your left tires as you want. Just be sure to come back to the normal tarmac line before the start of the pit stop, so do this line. And that was our lap around Valencia.